Valparaiso, Nebraska. 2 more. White City is in the Flint Hills District, and White City, Kansas. Blue River District, we have Wilbur United Methodist Church, and it is in Wilbur, Nebraska. We applaud and congratulate all of you churches that have been there for 150 years. By the way, each of those churches receive a certificate, a framed certificate. And if you are a church that was honored for 150 years and you have not picked up your certificate at the Archives and History display booth, would you please come do that? Thank you.
Thank you, Doris, for your great report. Our next report will be from the Kansas Methodist and Nebraska United Methodist Foundation. Dustin Petz and Christine Roberts, if you'll come on up.
Good afternoon. My name is Christine Roberts, and I'm the new executive director of the Nebraska United Methodist Foundation. If you're new to Nebraska or haven't met us before, this is our staff at the foundation. We have Marcy Logston. She's our director of finance, and if you have accounts with us, you certainly know her voice on the phone. Christy Bousquet is our amazing administrative assistant. She's the brains of the operation. And coming soon on July 1st, our new director of stewardship is Richard Randolph, who's at our booth. You should stop and meet him if you haven't already. He's been serving at Christ UMC in Lincoln for the past 8 years and is excited to start a new adventure at the foundation. We are thrilled to be your partner in ministry.
And I'm Dustin Petz. I serve as the president of the Kansas Methodist Foundation. It's a great joy to be with you today. We're doing our presentation kind of together. On the screen you can see our team from Kansas. I'm here as well as Tyler Curtis and Stevie Lacey. We've been back in our booth or mingling around. Gloria Marcus is the other team member and back at our office who connects with many of you. At the Kansas Methodist Foundation, we serve to inspire and equip Kansas Methodists to be generous stewards of the resources that have been entrusted to you so that you and us together can do amazing things, so we can make disciples of Jesus Christ, transform the world around us, change lives because of our resources. We do this with this conviction that God is the owner of all the things in our lives, that God's the owner, we are the stewards, and that we are called to use the resources entrusted to us to make a difference in the world around us, to be good, faithful stewards, and to deploy them to make a difference through the church and beyond. We're grateful for the opportunity to partner with you, to encourage and cultivate your generosity and stewardship, and to serve as partner in ministry with you.
So you don't need to clap. It'll go much faster if you don't. For our time today, Dustin and I won't be talking about the past year. You can find that information in our reports on pages 73, 74, and 75 in your workbooks. But we will be showing you what our United Methodist Church future could look like. The foundations provide resources and education for your investments, estate planning, and legacy giving. We can help you pay off a mortgage in advance like Wilbur UMC did. I'm so glad the archives had the exact same picture that I have on our slide. With our investment services, you can do that. And then we can help your congregation members remember their love for your church while they plan their estate and leave that legacy at their favorite ministry by getting their name on a wall or a brick. But what does that all require? Advanced planning and education for your congregations. So what's coming up? Hopefully we get some slides up there. We've got great maps to show you. Okay, great. What's coming up? In fact, we are already in the midst of the Great Wealth Transfer. There is always a transfer of wealth from generation to generation as parents pass away and leave their estate to their children. But if the heirs no longer live where they grew up, that wealth may leave our communities. As you can see from the map, many counties are already in the peak transfer years where more than $100 billion will transfer from one generation to the next over the next 10 years. What will happen to this massive wealth? Some will go to taxes. Most will go to heirs. Due to outmigration, many of those heirs no longer live where the wealth was built and may no longer feel connected to those places. Once wealth leaves our communities, the opportunity for give back becomes more and more unlikely. How does that break down specifically for United Methodists in Nebraska? Dustin and I calculated that Methodists represent about 3.5% of state population in Kansas and Nebraska today. If this is accurate, and if we all chose to give a tithe of 10% of our estates, then together we could create legacy funds of more than $350 million to do the vital ministry of the United Methodist Churches in Nebraska. Think of the ongoing ministry, the assistance to your local community, the heartfelt desire to give back to God merely a portion of that with which He has blessed you. Imagine the good deeds, the community growth, the church growth, when you lead by Jesus' example and create a family within your local community. All this because you do not have to worry about keeping the lights on or the doors open or an unexpected HVAC emergency. Your former church members have made sure that the building that houses the church family can operate. Your church family can concentrate on creating disciples of Christ in your community.
And the information in Kansas is quite similar to that in Nebraska. The next slide kind of shows a little bit about that. The transfer of wealth that will happen from one generation to the next over this current decade is close to $150 billion. And if we each gave a tithe, and that isn't like just those who have more resources consider this, it's if all of us participate in leaving a legacy for the church and for those who will come behind us to make a difference in people's lives, we could make a profound difference. In Kansas, we calculate that the estimation of this would be about $500 million for ministry. $500 million for ministry. A tremendous amount of resource that we already have within our congregations to do good, to be the hands and feet and heart of Jesus Christ. It causes me to wonder and to think about what dreams might we have if we had those resources at play to make a difference in your community or beyond. What dreams that we could use to make a difference. Lisa, yesterday in your laity report, you talked about us at the Great Plains planting gardens that will produce a harvest that we will not yet see. That's the whole of our work, is helping to do that with you and for you, for those who will come after us. I started thinking about that myself, and I was trying to wonder what dreams would I have for the future of the church. These are a few of them, and I'm curious what you would be dreaming about that we could do together. Well, one of which is to help our students who feel called, of all sorts, ages, the individuals who feel called by God to go into ministry, to have a church that welcomes them and welcomes that call, as well as have resources to support them as they follow that call. When we did the historic questions yesterday, you all snickered when Bishop asked, are you in debt so as to embarrass yourself, right? We do that every year. What if we no longer had to do that? We have that capacity already within us, where we could not be making it a joke that people come out with significant debt that they can't make it in their new ministry and their new calling. I dream of having financial leadership program to equip and strengthen our local churches across the state so that we have the resources to do the ministries that God calls us to be about. There are oftentimes people coming to us, to our booths out here saying, I got a dream, and what I need are resources to help me. What if we developed programs where we could help encourage and cultivate those resources for ministry? I have a dream that we have grants to give out for innovative, creative ministries, like the ones we heard before lunch with Justice Ministry and others. I have a dream where all of us have good estate plans so that our wishes are actually carried out for supporting our church and our family and those that we love. All these and so many more dreams that you have are possible, and we simply have to prepare the way and take action.
Here's how we can help. We can start by educating your congregation. Invite me or Richard in for your Sunday morning sermon or a potluck following service, or in coordination with an event that already takes place at your church. We can create a seminar, workshop, webinar, or event to help educate as many members as possible. We've already got pre-recorded videos on our YouTube channel that you can access. We are a resource for you, not a competitor. We want your church to grow and thrive in our changing world that needs a solid foundation of a higher power in all persons' lives. We can help you with any financial campaign, including an endowment campaign or a tithing campaign. We can help you create and maintain a legacy society at your local church, or possibly even a group of churches within your geographic network. And if you find we need to connect with other partners to serve your needs, we can help. We simply want to connect, educate, and help in our collective mission as United Methodists. Thank you for allowing us to be your partner in ministry.
One of the programs that I want to lift up out on our table is a flyer like this. It's mainly helping individual families put in place their estate plan, not just to learn, but to do, to put it in place so that you can make a difference. We indeed are clay in the hands of our Creator, and sometimes we get remolded, and I think we're called to dream dreams. In his opening worship service, Bishop, you said a profound comment that I'll end with. You said that there is great wealth and talent and gifts going unused, and calling us to use our best, not with pretty that we put up on display, but to put it to work to make a difference in the world. We want to be a partner with you to help you do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Thank you, Dustin and Christine. I've been to both of their headquarters to get to visit with them. Some wonderful work, great possibilities.